There's nobody guilty for this crime because there was no crime committed.
Tonight, a KHQA follow-up to tonight's 48 Hours episode. The wife of Curtis Loveless now says she'll do whatever it takes to make her husband exonerated.
Mike, let me ask you, what did you think of Detective Baird's testimony? What did you take away from it?
From jurors on what was going through their minds while listening to witness testimony.
Another beautiful day in the tri-states, but of course all good things come to an end. I'll show you that cooler 7-day forecast coming up.
This is KHQA News at 10, working for you.
Do you think that Curtis Loveless would have been found guilty if a more thorough investigation or a different way of investigating had been done back in 2006?
Yes.
Yes.
Tonight on KHQA News at 10, an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the tough decision facing 12 jurors in the Curtis Loveless murder trial.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm David Amilati.
And I'm Raja Maples. Tonight, in a new KHQA follow-up surrounding the Curtis Loveless murder trial, 6 jurors sit down with CBS 48 Hours' Maureen Maher to explain the reasons behind a hung jury.
Some jurors say they had problems with a guilty verdict after listening to testimony about rigor mortis.
Them being coached.
When we see the pathologist tells us it can set in as little as 30 minutes, then you see Jeff Baird's testimony that it was very mild in one arm and very mild in the other arm. It leaves more doubt. It leaves more doubt in my mind.
Reasonable doubt.
Reasonable doubt.
Now, juror Mike Hayden says he was very impressed by the thoroughness of Quincy Police Detective Jeff Baird's testimony. Baird was the first detective to investigate Corey Loveless's death on the day it happened in 2006.
But Hayden said Detective Baird's testimony ended up playing better for the defense.
I do wish that he had done the interviews with the children the day of her death. I think that would have taken out a lot of skepticism about them being coached.
There's nobody guilty for this crime because there was no crime committed.
Curtis Loveless's current wife, Christine, told 48 Hours she hasn't slept very much during the last year and a half. She says she's committed to bring her husband home.
She also talks about the day her husband was arrested in August 2014.
It was unreal, and I felt so empty and out of breath. And the only thing I knew to do was to hug my kids and let them know that it was going to be okay, and it is going to be okay.
Christine Loveless says it's cumbersome to be raising a family without their father.
She says her husband is innocent, and she's committed to bringing him home.
Will not allow him to sit in that jail cell for one day longer than he absolutely has to. He's been there long enough. Whatever it takes to make sure that my husband is exonerated and the truth is known and he comes home, that's what matters.
Curtis Loveless's retrial is next set for May 31st at 9 a.m.
Well, Jenny Dreisler joins us, and of course, as you saw, that she had covered this trial from gavel to gavel. And, you know, there were a lot of eyes on 48 Hours tonight, Jenny. Do you think that this national media spotlight is going to make it more difficult for Curtis Loveless to have a fair trial in Adams County?
Oh, you know, Roger, that's a gimme question. There's no way. I mean, even when we had originally started this trial, finding that was what was so hard with this trial to begin with in Adams County. That's why they had 72 people come in. That's why it took them 2 full days to go through rigorous questioning that they asked these jurors. That was the problem even here. Now after this attention, it's got to move out of Adams County. There's no way, absolutely no way. It's got to go even past Cass County. That's where Judge Bob Hardwick had come from. I'm thinking it's got to go Sangamon County, somewhere else away from Quincy.
You covered the trial gavel to gavel, heard every single piece of testimony. Were you surprised by this hung jury?
You know, in the beginning, it was such a back and forth trial. If you would have asked me that in the first 2 days, I would have said, no, there's no way, there's got to be a decision. But then as it went on, it was so back and forth. Each side poked so many holes into the other's case. There was so much probable cause there. Many people thought it was going to be a not guilty simply because of the sheer amount of probable cause, reasonable doubt. whatever. But then when it kind of kept going, the jury deliberated for over 16 hours. Then you started thinking, okay, there's definitely some emotion involved in this. That's what took the jury so long. No, I really wasn't. At the end of it, no, it's so much goes into it. Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised when we got to the end.
And Jenny, you and I are very familiar with the laws surrounding what is and is not allowed in the Adams County courtroom. We basically could not take our cameras into the courtroom. How difficult was it for 48 hours, the national media, to tell this story with no cameras in the courtroom?
So difficult. They showed up and had started doing the story, and we informed them, no, you can't bring your cameras in. So difficult to tell the story, because I think what doesn't really come across in the story, and we wish we could, is just the emotion inside of the courtroom when Curtis broke down, when he saw his two sons on the stand. You have Marty, in the back crying as well. You have Christine crying. It is so hard to portray that just with words. And I think to say that, you've got to have cameras at some point. And I know that particularly they are working on that, but as of right now, not going to happen in the 8th Circuit as of yet. All right. Thank you, Jenny. Now let's send things over to Tegan Orpet in the weather forecast.
Now, your 7-storm team first forecast.
And we did break a record today. 72 was our daytime high, and we broke the record. It was 66 back in 2011. Hopefully you had an opportunity to get out and enjoy what was a beautiful afternoon, light breeze and plenty of sunshine. Currently, though, we are dealing with some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the tri-state area. In fact, some flash flood warnings now issued for portions of the St. Louis region. Taking a closer look at the tri-state area, we do have an embedded thunderstorm just near Pittsfield there in Pike County, Illinois. We'll continue to follow these line of storms throughout the evening, because there is a chance for some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms all the way through early tomorrow morning. Currently, though, 45 degrees there at Quincy's Regional Airport, a bit warmer, 52 in Hannibal. We're starting to clear the skies out, so all those temperatures dropping, 52 in Hannibal, but 37 currently in Fort Madison, 39 in Macomb. Our winds have also taken a shift here, straight from the south to the north, gusting anywhere from 15 miles per hour in Macomb and Quincy to 12 miles per hour in Macomb and Fort Madison. Lows tonight, 36, mostly cloudy. Again, isolated thunderstorms across the tri-state area. Stay with us, though. I'll show you a 7-day forecast that brings some big changes to the tri-state, so you want to stay tuned.
Tegan, thanks. Here's a look ahead next to KHQA News at 10 on Sunday night. The FDA has now approved what's being called the reshaped balloon system. It's expected to be the next big trend in weight loss surgery. Now, here's the thing. Surgeons attach balloons inside of your stomach. Tune in Sunday night at 10 to find out about one woman's experience with that new procedure. Well, Hillary Clinton is the new winner of the Nevada caucuses, but entrance polls show first-time caucus goers favored rival Bernie Sanders. This was the first test for the Democratic presidential candidates at courting minority voters. 35 delegates were up for grabs in Nevada. The magic number to secure the nomination is 2,383.
Now we turn things over to South Carolina for that Republican primary. That's where Donald Trump is celebrating a big win. He was the front runner. Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio trailed closely behind. We also have breaking news to pass along to you. Jeb Bush is now out of that Republican race for president, ending a bid that drew a staggering level of financial support from donors. Experts side voters are weary to elect another Bush into the White House.
Happening right now, Quincy police looking for a driver who left the scene of a crash this morning. It happened in the 1100 block of South 8th Street. Upon arrival, officers noticed the vehicle had been abandoned and there had been multiple people in that car. Further investigation led Roxanne Hastings, 35 years old, of Quincy. He was found in a different location. Hastings was released on a notice to appear.
The Macomb Police Department is now looking for 3 men distributing counterfeit $50 bills. It happened around 10 a.m. at an area drive-through. Now, officials now say that they were driving a 4-door black Jeep Liberty. If you have any information about this crime, you are asked to contact the Macomb Police Department at the number there on your screen. That is 309-833-4505. Well, a school project back in 2010 is now a reality for 5 alums at Culver Stockton College. The doors of the JE and LE Maybe Recreation and Wellness Center opened its doors this afternoon. The Culver Stockton College constructed the new Recreation and Wellness Center to improve major areas of the campus. However, the idea stemmed from an athletic training course just a few years ago.
It based on what the community and what the campus of Culver wanted to see.
Now, the public got a first-hand tour of the recreation center celebrating the completion of the building. The facility, however, will not be officially open until February 22nd.
Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia was laid to rest today after a funeral mass at the Basilica of National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. We'll take you there after this break on KHQA News at 10.
You're watching KHQA News at 10. Working for you.
The Quincy Noon Kiwanis Club held its 20th annual charity auction this afternoon. Locals gathered in the center court at Quincy Mall to bid on items provided by area businesses. Over the years, the club has raised and distributed more than $1.5 million. All proceeds are given to local organizations helping children. Well, local foods demand it's growing rapidly in the tri-state area. Farmers and consumers met today at the Tri-State Local Food Summit to learn about growing and using local foods. The highlight of the morning was keynote speaker Dr. John Eichert, Professor Emeritus from the University of Missouri, a recognized expert in sustainable agriculture and economics. He explained how today they're trying to link up producers and consumers to meet demand.
Help producers learn to scale up their operations to meet that demand, and also to help consumers with access to local foods.
The summit today brought about 70 producers and consumers all the way from Springfield, Illinois, Fairfield, and even Iowa as well to our area. Well, Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia was laid to rest today.
That's right. He's remembered as a man of faith with deep love for his country and his family. Weijia Zhang has more details from Washington, D.C.
Church bells tolled for Justice Antonin Scalia as pallbearers carried his flag-draped casket into the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception.
Let us pray.
Father Paul Scalia, the justice's son, presided over the Mass and delivered the homily.
God bless Dad with a love for his family.
Father Scalia was on the verge of tears as he talked about his dad's love for his wife of 56 years and the couple's 9 children.
To have each other for support. That's the greatest wealth parents can bestow. And right now, we are particularly grateful for it.
Scalia's funeral service was the first for a Supreme Court justice held here at the nation's largest Roman Catholic church. Religion was an important part of his life.
It was a reminder that there are more important things in his life than the job that he did every day. He was somebody who loved his church and loved his country both.
And he loved his friends, says Dick Coleman, who went to college and law school with Scalia.
It always gets me when I read something in the media about him being a curmudgeon. He was the warmest, funniest guy I know.
Mourners from both sides of the aisle, including Vice Presidents Dick Cheney and Joe Biden and Senator Ted Cruz, came together to say goodbye. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Washington.
It was an historic day in the Tri-States. Will we see another historic day in the next 7 days? I'll show you that next.
Now, your exclusive 7 Storm Team forecast.
Very windy conditions in Lansing, Michigan that actually brought down this tree as wind gusts there probably topped over 40 miles an hour. Here in the Tri-States, we are looking at what's going to be a very nice next couple of days. But you know what? We did set a record today. 72 degrees was our high today, and we did break a record of 66 set back in 2011. Good news is our nighttime lows aren't going to break any records, but what we are looking forward to in the next 7-day forecast is a cool down for the Tri-States, but not a lot of moisture to deal with. So currently, though, temperatures across the tri-state area are definitely going to be cooling down quite a bit. In fact, we're starting to see less cloud cover in the northern half of the tri-states and more cloud cover in the southern half of the viewing area. That means we're dealing with scattered showers and thunderstorms as we do make our way over the next several hours. So here's where our highs are observed for today. 72 degrees at Quincy's Regional Airport, a little bit cooler, 57 in Chicago, 72 in Cape Girardeau, but 78 in St. Louis. Louis. Now, as you head a little bit further west, 75 in Kansas City, 77 in Springfield, Missouri. Here's a look into Macomb, and temperatures there, as I mentioned, are cooler. So the north and eastern half of the viewing area cooler because clouds are starting to clear out. 38 degrees right now, but a bit of a wind chill with our wind straight out of the north at 16 miles an hour. So we have 45 degrees in Quincy, still 52 degrees in Hannibal, 54 in Pittsfield. Less cloud cover means cooler temperatures, and we'll continue to see those nighttime lows drop into the upper 30s for the entire viewing area as we do head into tomorrow morning. So currently our winds do remain a little bit stronger at this hour. 15 miles per hour in Quincy, 10 miles per hour in Keokuk, 12 miles per hour in Fort Madison, 10 there in Pittsfield. And those scattered showers and thunderstorms, yes, they are inching into the tri-state area. You can see a few embedded thunderstorms through Pike County, Missouri, stretching into Pike County, Illinois. This is where a lot of these storms will stay, but we did have some stronger storms. In fact, a few severe thunderstorm warnings out for portions of the St. Louis area just a couple of hours ago that did prompt some flash flooding, but we're starting to see that line of scattered showers and thunderstorms. The intense ones stay south and east there of St. Louis. So for us tonight, 36 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, just a slight chance for those scattered showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow, a high near 50, mostly sunny. Not as warm as today, but still pretty pleasant as we head through the end of February. Lows tomorrow night really take a tumble, 31 degrees. So a chilly start to a Monday morning. That's going to bring with us some cooler temperatures heading into early next week. We have 45 degrees Monday, 50 on Tuesday, and then we settle in nicely to the lower 40s, upper 20s all the way through the early part of next weekend. Best chance for rain, though, comes Wednesday. Only about a 20% chance.
I saw a lot of people in the car washes and cleaning out the garages today.
I saw a lot of people in the parks, walking their dogs, running, just really embracing it and taking it in.
The golf course was packed today. I was driving by on South 36 in
Oh,
Quincy.
I thought you were going to say you were golfing today.
I was very jealous. Well, I wish I would have gone golfing. I went running. I enjoyed the weather that way. And it sounds like we have till Wednesday to enjoy it more until that rain comes.
Well, I think we all have cabin fever.
I think so, but it's going to feel quite a bit cooler tomorrow. 72 today, 50 tomorrow. That'll be a big drop.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tag. And we'll be right back with a little bit more news for you after the break.
After a strong start at the beginning of the week, stocks closed mixed on Friday. The Dow fell 21 points. The Nasdaq closed up 16. A big shakeup in the executive offices at SeaWorld. The amusement park announced the departures of the company's chief parks operations officer, chief zoological officer, and San Antonio park director. It's part of a continuing effort to improve the profitability of the theme parks. SeaWorld announced it would end its killer whale show last fall following public scrutiny and regulatory pressure. Fortune is out with its most admired companies list. The winners are a trio of tech giants. In the top spot is Apple, followed by Alphabet, parent company of Google, and Amazon. The list is compiled by revenue and corporate reputations. Virgin Galactic unveiled its new spaceship on Friday called Spaceship Two. It's a replacement for the spacecraft lost in the 2014 fatal crash. Richard Branson's company says right now the emphasis is firmly on testing. Virgin Galactic hopes to launch the world's first commercial human spaceflight program. More than 700 people have already signed up for a ticket if and when the spaceship takes flight. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Hannah Daniels.
Well, it was a day of music, food, and entertainment over in Hannibal for the 33rd annual Hannibal JC's Chili Cook-Off. Happening today, thousands of people poured into the Admiral Kuntz Armory to try almost 20 different types of chili. I got to taste two. They were very enjoyable, very sweet and tangy. Each year, a nonprofit is selected to receive the proceeds. The second year in a row, the Great River Honor Flight was chosen to help veterans visit the White House. Very exciting there. Special guests included world-renowned circus performers Mango and Dango. You can see them on your screen. They're not afraid of heights. I am terrified. And I cannot do that. But everyone out there had a great time, and I just don't know how they do that. That was terrifying.
The stilts.
Very terrifying. I cannot do stilts. I'm 5'7". I'll stay 5'7" until the end.
There is always something fun in Hannibal. I'm sorry,
No,
Tegan.
but the jam-packed crowd there on a beautiful day, that was kind of nice.
Very exciting. You know what else was nice was that weather they were able to enjoy when they walked back outside.
I know, 72 degrees, our record high today, but unfortunately, I wish it could last a whole lot longer. But to get spoiled like that in the middle to end of February, I think we'll take it. Mid-50s as we head into tomorrow, mid-40s on Monday. Next chance for rain does come heading into Wednesday, but temperatures will remain near average, both daytime highs and nighttime lows for the next 7 days.
All right, enjoy your weekend, everyone.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, don't forget, you don't want to change the channel because Overtime with Chris Dewar is coming up right after the break, and he's got a jam-packed day for you. Will Wilson, I know, is going all across the Tri-States, and I'm sure we'll be here sitting and watch, right?
Actually, Dewar actually went across the state of Missouri and back today.
Well, he was in Kansas City. He had barbecue. He didn't have Gates. He
did not bring any barbecue back for us.
Well, that's, I guess, the important thing to know is he didn't bring anything back. We'll have to remind him next time. Thanks for joining us for KHQA News at 10 tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time. KHQA News. We'll see you soon.
This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. KHQA, working for you.
And this is Saturday, February the 20th, and you have entered this championship edition of Overtime, and these are the nights that make this business fun. The name Will Lucy first pinged radar here when he was an 8th grader. I was having a conversation with West Hancock wrestling coach John Minnis about Jack Lucy and just what a precocious talent he was proving to be at the varsity level, and John countered with the very prophetic words, "Wait till you see his little brother," who he described at the time as absolutely relentless. Will proved every bit as good as advertised, but his seemingly preordained date with destiny atop a podium in Champaign took some very bizarre twists in the first 3 appearances on the big stage, resulting in 2 third and a 5th place finish in his extraordinary career. Tonight, however, Will finally got to make the Grand March and put his 40-1 record on the line against the #1 ranked 138-pounder in Class 1A, Jared Bronigal of Belleville-Altoff. Now, these two guys could have conceivably met at the Quincy High Invitational. Instead, we had to wait till this point before we did, and what a championship bout this would prove to be. Will Lucy looking very confident heading into period #1. Bronigal on the attack, though, in period #1, and that made things incredibly interesting for Will. His defensive skills put to the test here as Bronigal is trying desperately to roll Will. He will not give up position, gets to neutral, or at least stays there, and keeps working and takes advantage of Bronigal's mistake right there to score the early 2 points. After 1 period, Will was up 2-1. John Minnis very, very pleased at that point. Will starts down in period 2, gets the escape here to go up 3-1 at that point, and then rapidly thereafter, single leg takedown for Will Lucy, which put him up by a commanding 5-1 lead. He would take a 5-2 lead into period #3, and that's when things got incredibly interesting. Bronigal down would score the quick escape and then had the presence of mind after escaping Will right there to turn around and hit the quick takedown, and all of a sudden we're level at 5 apiece at that point after it got to 5-3. Weird decision by Bronigal, who basically lets Will up with 45 seconds left. Maybe he was going for the takedown. Maybe he didn't think he could keep Will down, but he could not score another point in this match. Will held off everything, pushed back, and gets the win. 6-5 your final. Destiny finally realized for Will Lucy, who would celebrate with one of the most unique and wonderful backflips you're ever going to see. Congratulations to Will Lucy. He's worked incredibly hard for this moment. You can see the elation on his face. Would have loved to see a picture of mom and dad at this moment because I know they were absolutely going nuts last week. Double biceps even. Way to go, Will. But afterwards, all the talk, first of all, on the backflip celebration and then on the huge win.
That's just, that really, it started with my teammate Devin, who came out here, had a spectacular performance coming in as a senior, qualifying for the first time for state, and he came out of it with a medal, top 4 in the state. So I got to throw that in there. It started off with him. We were training in the off season one time, and we took a break in the middle of our drill session. We were like, you know how cool it'd be to win state and do a backflip? And we were like, yeah, you know what? We're pretty athletic. I think we can do a backflip. So we started practicing, and he was the one who actually got it first, but then I eventually figured out how to do it. I had to do the cartwheel first, but I figured out how to do a backflip, and ever since then it's just been history. It's like, you know what? When I win state, I'm gonna hit a backflip. I was planning to hit it right away, but I was too tired right off the mat, so I had to catch my breath a little bit, get focused so I wasn't off balance and fall down. Look kind of silly if I fell down after doing a backflip,
Did you really ever imagine that you'd be able to do a backflip on this stage after winning a state title?
Absolutely. Every night when I went to bed, this is what I was dreaming about. I relive it every single night. I was thinking about it. That's the only thing that's been on my mind for 4 years now. So it's is definitely very special, and it's surreal right now. But I've been training for this. I've been wanting to be here for a very long time, so I can definitely believe that I've done it.
4 regional championships, 4 sectional titles, 4 top 4 finishes at state, and tonight the coup de grace for Will Lucy. State championship, well deserved. Nobody works harder than wrestlers, and he certainly went on that vision quest and made it happen. Speaking of his teammate Devin Beeston, what a showing for him. Wraps up his career with a 4th place finish, going 1-1 today to make his way into the 3rd place bout. Ended up losing that, but finishing 4th. Congratulations to Devin Beeston. Also out of Macomb, Zach Wilson ended up going 0-2 on the day today, but did end up with a 6th place finish to get that done as well. So congratulations to all 3 of our Illinois state medalists, guys atop the podium. Meanwhile, we would be remiss if we did not pass along our congratulations to a quartet of state medalists from Southeast Iowa who were crowned today. Who you see right here is Fort Madison's Harlan Steffensmeyer. He wins by fall in his last bout of the tourney at 5'21" at 120 pounds to claim 5th place in his bracket. Also for Keokuk today, you're looking at Brant O'Shea, who at 126 secured a 5th place trophy. Tyler Bidding at 160 pounds and Cam Sadeghi at 132 pounds. Each took different routes to get there, but both ended up with 8th place finishes as well. Southeast Iowa and the entire Tri-States, gentlemen, very proud of your accomplishments as well. So great stuff there. What a great wrestling season it was. We'll certainly miss it moving forward. But now we've got basketball to attend to. And speaking of Southeast Iowa, the Keokuk Chiefs dove into postseason play tonight with just 2 losses on the balance sheet, neither of which have come at the hands of Hawkeye State competition. Seemed like a good omen for Mike Davis's crew driving into regional play tonight against arch rival Fort Madison. This was not what you would call a high-scoring offensive affair to begin with. As we take you to the right field house tonight, Keokuk Chiefs going to work in this one. Dying seconds of the first quarter, Michaela Davis is going to find Paige Cavon, the sniper, for 3 at the buzzer. That's well timed to put the Lady Chiefs up 3-1 after 1. Second quarter, Miss Davis just absolutely hitting, while Fort Madison could get nothing going offensively. Davis with the long 3 right there. The Lady Chiefs attacking again. The ball movement was sublime here. Skylar Johnston on the baseline, knocking that down. Good shot from her. Fort Madison finally in the second quarter found some traction. Emily Mitchell working in transition to get the basket right here. Keokuk, though, answers right back off the miss. It's going to be Casey Ames cleaning up the rebound. Beautiful stuff from her. Great timing and the good putback. The scoring starts to come in bunches then from Keokuk after the slow and icy start as the Chiefs go to work in this one. Cavon to Brooke Wade, who hits the 3 right there. Then it's Paige Leffler trying to stop the bleeding for Fort Madison, but it would just be temporary. Keokuk just not to be denied this postseason. Great stuff from the Keokuk Chiefs as they end up getting the win tonight by the final count of in this one of 55-21. Up next for them, a home date coming up on Tuesday with Fairfield, who beat Oskaloosa 62-17. Keokuk, I believe, has beaten Fairfield twice this season. They'll be back at home with a chance to do it 3 times and to reach state. The Chiefs certainly cruising nicely at this point. We have a little homeschool video for you tonight as well. Senior night for the Quincy Saints as they were taking on a very good St. Louis Patriots team. What a night for Ben Wingirter. 3-pointer there. He hit a career-high 21 points tonight. He got some help as well. Andy Kasula working off the loose ball right here. The lay-in and the foul bucket Band-Aid and 3-point play for him. Stephon Williams doing his thing from the corner, knocking down a triple as well right here. And then more ball movement again for Ben Wingirter. Did I mention the 21 points is a career high? He was hot tonight. Unfortunately, his teammates could not kind of put things together in conjunction with that as the homeschoolers lose on senior night. Final count in this one for the Quincy Saints. They lose 58-53. And Will Wilson sits down with the Central Southeastern Lady Panthers on the verge of the biggest game in program history as they take on a really good Breeze Central team coming up tomorrow, ranked 2nd in the state in maybe the most wonderful venue for a super sectional anywhere, Illinois College, coming up on Monday. Will Wilson has your complete preview, talking about this team being young but still being so precociously good at this point. Should be a really neat story. Some great girls there at Central Southeastern playing hard for Matt Long right now, so that will be a wonderful story for you. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't thank my good friend Steve Luton for the invitation this morning. Got a chance to appear on WTAD's McDonald's Morning Ticket with him and with the great David Adams, so that was an awful lot of fun. As always, nice to talk sports with Steve Luton and with David Adams, so great job there and good stuff. Hey, it's been a heck of a week, everybody. Congratulations to the great Will Lucy, who etched his name in wrestling immortality tonight with a state championship. Tell you what, we did pretty good this year with all those state medalist wrestlers, but it's always better when you get a state champion, and I believe Will is our first since Devin Johnson won one at Pittsfield. He's worked really hard for that. That family has worked really hard for that. A lot of wrestling, not only mom and dad. Sister Emily does all the bookkeeping and keeps all the stats for everybody. So congratulations to everybody who had a hand in Will's success, and particularly because he's not going to see it anywhere until he gets home tonight from the big wrestling match with Navy today. But a big shout out to Jack Lucy, his big brother, who didn't get the chance to win a state championship, who, like Will, had things go awry for him at state. But I know he was Will's biggest fan tonight, and I know when he gets this news, he's going to be thrilled. And I know it wouldn't have happened for Will if it weren't for Jack. So congratulations to him for that contribution as well. Some class kids and a class family. I am all out of time, my friends. Enjoy the wrestling.